do this, I had some cards, and I should have done it in Braille, because my readers, it's my age, I guess, but the stroke of a pen. A male, age 46. Policy's been enforced for 10 years. $537,000 is paid out. Coronary artery disease. A construction worker. Policy's been enforced for 6 years. $100,000 is paid out. A farmer, age 53. $502,000 of life insurance is paid out. 11 years in force due to a tree accident. And lastly, a restaurant manager, age 39. $1 million of life insurance is paid out. Policy's been enforced for 6 years. Heroin intoxication. These individuals were able to discharge a lifetime of obligation through the stroke of a pen and an application of life insurance. See, it's not as if these obligations, it's not that we can escape these obligations, but it's a matter of how we're going to pay for these obligations. Because someday, somehow, someone will pay for this. It's just a matter of what terms are we going to use as it relates to this. And by the stroke of the pen and the application, we now can provide the easiest terms as it relates to life insurance. Now, people will ask me about the life insurance and ask me, what types of insurance should I purchase? And I did some research. I called a couple home offices, and I started talking to people in the claims. And what I found was 98% of the people that we talked with, the beneficiaries said they liked the policy that was in force at the time of claim. That's the type of policy that they liked. So when we start looking at that, on a more serious note, we have different types of insurance. We have term insurance on one side. Think of that as the analogy of renting. I rent something, it's low cost, and during that time period, I enjoy the use of the product, and at some point in time, it expires. On the complete opposite side, I have whole life insurance. Whole life insurance costs more, so think of that as buying a home. And as the time goes on, I build equity in that home. I can have it paid off, just like a mortgage would be. I have a 15-year mortgage or a 30-year mortgage. My home basically now can be paid off just like the life insurance can be paid off. And we have different choices within that. The other thing that I hear about from an insurance perspective, one of the features that we're finding more recently is living benefits. Because what we've talked about so far is all about death and dying. And most of us didn't get up this morning wanting to think about that. I didn't get up this morning to think about that. That's kind of a morbid thought. We kind of get bored to be around. But the reality of that is that we now have living benefits within these insurance policies. Those living benefits happen to be such that as I get older, if I need long-term care, and if I need assistance with bathing, dressing, continence, transference, those types of deficiencies that I might have, as well as a cognitive impairment, I can now access the life insurance death benefit for my care. The same thing goes with a chronic or a critical illness. If I have a heart attack, a stroke, we all know somebody that maybe has had cancer or organ transplant. If I have that, I can access that as a living benefit. So we have the new features within the program as far as life insurance goes. Somebody says, how much should I buy? That's another question I get asked a lot. Once again, I called the home office, I did some research, and I found out that the average person that owns life insurance, the amount that they own is 2 times their annual income. The question I have is, how long do they expect to be dead? When the reality is we can insure somebody up to 15 to 20 times their annual income. And so when we look through those processes, that's what we're looking for. The other question is, as far as we've talked about what types, we've talked about how much. The last part is, when should I buy it? Of course, we have to be healthy. We have an actuary in the room, so we can actuary will say that the healthier you are, the better the rate you receive. The other part of that is the younger you are, the less expensive it is. So to give you some examples of that, I went to my rate book and said, if a 30-year-old male wants to buy $1 million of life insurance, would like to make that in monthly installments, how much would it cost over 30 years? $62 a month. Now, females have the advantage because they're a little bit less in expense, but at the same time, that same female, age 30, 30-year term, can purchase it for $50 a month. I contrast that with the client that I'm working with right now, age 80. I think he's in good health. We're going through that process right now. $400,000 of life insurance, $24,000 a year. So that's the key. Think about when we're going to buy it. So what I want to leave with you today is that people have to insure against what can go wrong to gain the luxury of what can go right. With the stroke of the pen and the application, people have the easiest terms possible. Thank you.